All right, Dave, let's talk about one of our core philosophies at TPI, and it's called the team approach. And that's basically all the people that can help you improve your game. I call it the sphere of influence: the coach, the fitness professional, and the medical professional.
I think it's huge, Greg. I mean, as you know, teaching world-class players, it's one of our philosophies with my own players in that they don't realize until they're shown how important it is to have medical, fitness, and golf all talking, because that's the way the best really get better.
Right, and let's talk about how this normally happens. So forget the high end. Let's just talk about your regular country club player, right?
Sure.
Normally you start with your golf professional. If you want to get better, you go take a lesson from your golf professional. Now the golf professional, if they're a TPI certified professional, one of the first things they're going to do is they're going to look at your swing, and then they're going to do a physical screen on you,
Yes.
right? The physical screen helps identify if your body can move the way most people can move.
That's right.
Now if there's problems with that, then we now realize that you have something we call body swing connection, where your body can be influencing the way you swing.
That's right.
If that is a problem, you've got two options, right? You've got option number one is the coach will just coach around your problems, right? And just ignore them.
Which a lot do.
Or option number two is we can actually get you in with our team, right? We'll get to the team in a second, that can help improve those limitations. Now I'm going to tell you, most people don't say, hey, just ignore all my problems and coach around. They want to improve these if you can. And there are people all over the world, there's over 30,000 just TPI certified professionals, that this is what they do, is they help the coach get rid of those problems.
They do. They try and build the correct team around you. Now remember, a lot of us, when we swing a golf club or when we play, we have pre-existing conditions. We may have pain. You might have experienced back pain, shoulder pain. It's very important when you're working on your golf swing that if that's getting flared up or you're getting more pain, we need to know how to get you to the right person so you can get better. And that's where this team comes in.
We spend so much money on equipment fitting, and it's really important. But the most important piece of equipment is your body, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if your body's not working properly, if anybody's had an injury, you know what I'm talking about, right?
That's right.
So if a coach identifies that there's a physical issue, well then, first thing I would start with is a trainer, right? So you go into a gym, almost every gym around the country or around the world now will have a TPI certified professional that can actually take you through, and they understand the physical demands that it takes to swing a golf club the way you're supposed to swing a golf club. And they will communicate with the coach. The coach is like the driver of the team. This is now a pit crew. We're bringing the pit crew in. They'll communicate. Now, just so you know, if the fitness isn't, let's say, advancing as fast as possible, maybe there's some limitations that exercise can't handle. Well, we actually have a medical team too.
That's right.
Now, the medical team doesn't have to be for injuries.
No.
They could be for manual therapy. Of course, if there's an injury, you also have your medical professional as well. So most of these teams, as we call it, coach, medical, fitness, work together to try and accelerate your game the fastest possible.
They do. And in many cases, Greg, I think the medical, when you talk about physical therapy and mobilizing and stabilizing, they may be more important than actually fitness at first, because you gotta make sure that you can go through those ranges of motion. And sometimes getting a good therapist can actually help tremendously.
I always say mobility problems, if you don't have the range of motion, mobility problems are like a brick wall.
That's right.
Exercise is like a hammer and chisel. I can start knocking that wall down with a hammer and chisel, but sometimes you're like, you know what, I just need some dynamite, right? That's a manual therapist, whether a physical therapist, chiropractor, osteopath, somebody who can break it loose. So sometimes breaking it loose, like you said first, then getting it to the trainer, where now the trainer uses the hammer and chisel to keep the wall down forever.
That's right.
Is a great way to attack.
And I think the other thing too is we have a lot of new golfers coming into the game. We got a lot of young players that love golf and are training for speed and so on and so forth. It's very important you understand is that medical and fitness is not just as we get older. It's a core value of these younger players is building that stability and that foundation early so that they don't get injured or hurt and they can enjoy this game for their entire life.
Now, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't add one fourth member, and that's sports psychology. It's a big piece of competitive playing. If you actually want to take your game to the highest level, I call it stinking thinking, can't be part of the problem, right? So that's the complete sphere of influence that most of the best players in the world have. They have their coach, right, which would be like the driver of the team. They've got their pit crew, which involves a fitness professional, a medical professional, and maybe a sports psychologist in there as well.
That's right.